Hi everyone, welcome. It's Ryan here for the London Craftsman channel. How are you keeping? Today's video is all about machining a hinge hole into three types of MDF, and we're going to be using the Finsa, the standard MDF and the moisture resistant MDF. If you haven't watched the previous three videos, we were testing to see how good standard MDF machines with a moulding. The second video was machining and moulding into all three components to see the difference between the three types of MDF. So all really interesting and really interesting results in my eyes anyway. But today we're continuing that with video number 4. We're going to be using a standard 35mm hinge cutter. We've got the Vico jig at the moment, and that's pretty handy to machine hinge holes over and over again. We have changed the cutter over. We've been using this one. It's a standard 35mm hinge cutter. We've swapped that over for a brand new cutter now, and that is in the jig as we speak. So I'm going to put that in the drill. I'm going to connect up the plates to each one of these samples, and we're going to be drilling to see how each one drills, if it goes fluffy, how easy is it to drill, all those kind of bits and pieces we're going to find out, just to add a little bit more info to these three materials being part 4. Quite interesting to know how these will machine out, considering we have tested out the mouldings and the paint finishes. So if that floats your boat, you want to find out more, well, you better stay tuned, watch to the end. I hope you enjoy. So if there's any noise, it's because Sean's working away in the background. So you get a 2-in-1 video here. You get to see a wardrobe being built at the same time. Say hello, Sean.
Hello, everyone.
Say hi, ladies, because there's lots of ladies out there. Just for you, by the way, not me. Anyway, let's get on with the video. What we are planning to do is drill a 35mm hinge hole into each 3 samples. So in the last videos, we found out what was the best to machine and what was best to paint. This one, we're going to find out what is best to drill out. Obviously, you've got the more expensive Finsa. In my last video, we found out whether it's worth its fortune with the paint finishes. If I flip it around, we've got some paint finishes on the other side. We are using the same samples here, by the way, as the last 2 videos. We've also got the bog standard MDF, and then we've got, in the middle, we've got the moisture resistant. So we have the most expensive, we have the least expensive, which is just standard MDF, and we've got moisture resistant, which is somewhere in the middle of the 2. So let's go over what we're using. We're going to be using the Vico hinge jig, and this is great for repeatability. So this part goes in your drill. Obviously, it's got movement here, up and down, and it's got a bearing in it so you can spin that. Just keeping your drill nice and straight, and obviously just guiding your drill into position. Also, when you clip this on your door, it's got a spacing on it. It's got these little stoppers here, so that will give you the correct spacing from the edge of the door. This clamp is nice and tough, so it holds it in position. And once you have drilled out for the hinge itself, it's got another handy little plate on to do the screw holes. So you just again place that in before you have removed this, and pre-drill with a 2mm drill bit. Very handy indeed to completely finish a door with a hinge hole and all the screw holes. The next thing we're going to do is going to drill out one at a time. We're going to set up a hoover so we get rid of that dust as we're drilling, to keep an eye on how the hole's going and just assess as we go. So we've got the hoover set up. When I turn the drill on, it will turn the hoover on because it's all connected to the ultimate workbench. So reminder, this is a brand new cutter. Yeah, it's set up to the right depth. Let's go for it. Okay, that's the Finsa done. So I've got the moisture resistance set up. Let's go ahead and machine that. Right, getting quite a lot of build up in the cutter at the moment, so I've had to clear that out. Let's go again. Okay, overall not great. You can see the cutter there. It's got some of the MDF, it's got the fluffy bits of the MDF in there. So, and this is what it looks like. So yeah, bits of fluffy MDF. So not great. Overall, we did cut through, but not perfect. Let's go ahead and try out the standard MDF. Wow, that was quick. Quickest out of the lot. And it's gone like dust, but fluffy dust. That's all I can explain. It's not clumped up. Let's show you the bottom of the cutter. So it hasn't clumped up to the bottom of the cutter, so it was still cutting, it wasn't blocking the blades, but it did cut really well. I went through in about 5 seconds. So unlike the Finsa, this went a bit more fluffy, but it's more like fluffy dust, if that makes sense. It cut through really, really nicely. Had no problems, to be honest. It was quicker and a better cut than the Finsa and the MR. MR was pretty terrible. Let's hoover this up and I'll show you the hole. So there we go, nice and crisp. Perfect, really. They're getting really, really good results. So let's line them up and see what we got between them. So here are the results. We've got in third place, I would say, is the MR. We didn't get a good cut. I did have the sample overhanging the work quite a bit compared to the rest, which I did notice, which may have caused it to fail or not get a good cut like the rest, because as I was pushing down, it was springing a little bit. But overall, yeah, as we were cutting, it's blocking up the cutter. These two are pretty good. There is nothing between them in my eyes. And I wouldn't say one was better than the other, if that's another way to put it. I did find that this was harder to actually get going. It didn't want to cut through the first layer. Compared to this, it went straight through literally. But this gave a more of a dusty, sawdust kind of, or shavings, shall I say, whereas this was more like fluffy dust, springy, fluffy dust. But overall, I mean, I don't know what else to say about the results. I'd say third place and joint first place, no second place, in my eyes. These both machined nicely, but overall, we got really good cuts. This went through twice as quick compared to this, which you would have thought would be the other way around, because this is apparently denser. This is a close-up of all three. Finsa on the left, standard in the middle, moisture resistant on the right. So there we go, guys, that's the video done. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, like and subscribe, the usual. Other than that, have a great Sunday. I'll see you next Sunday. Take it easy. Ciao for now. Goodbye, Sean.